When you're attaching your insoles to the base of your last before you last your uppers, there are a couple of ways of attaching it so that it doesn't move around while you're trying to last the uppers in place. The first option is with masking tape. And keep in mind you can use this same technique whether you're making a high, mid, or flat shoe. Now with the tape, I tend to take 2 small pieces and attach it just over the toe and just over the heel like that. So that's not going anywhere. But sometimes this technique isn't as reliable as you want it to be once you start removing the tape and actually sticking things down. So we do have another option, and that is to use a small nail or tack to hold it in place while you last. Let me show you how it's done. First, you want to position your insole in exactly the right spot on the bottom of the last, and then we want to put a little pilot hole using your awl into the front section of the last. We're then going to take our little nail or tack, place it into the pilot hole and hammer it halfway in. It's really important you don't hammer it flush to the insole, and I'll tell you why in a moment. That's now holding the front of the insole board really nice and tight. Now it's super important that you don't hammer it all the way flush because you won't be able to get it out, and you must get it out because if you don't, you'll have a sharp nail sticking up onto the inside of your shoe, which nobody wants. So after you've lasted your shoe, it's very important that you take your pliers and remove the nail, like so. Now sometimes your insoles will have a little hole at the back underneath, which is a great place for you to put a little tack. But if your insoles don't have anywhere at the back for you to actually put a tack in, you might want to do a combination of a tack at the front and a little bit of tape at the back, just to really ensure that the insole isn't shifting around while you're lasting your shoes. Now, you might be worried about having a hole on the inside of your insole board, especially if you've already covered this. So it's really important that you know in advance what shape insole sock you're going to be using so that you can ensure that once you place it over the top like so, that it does in fact cover up any little holes that you've put in the insole board. And if you've made yourself a flat shoe like this and you've got little holes on the inside, you can create a full insole sock which goes in like so, covering up any little holes that you've put into the insoles.